Cool and damp this evening here in Florence, South Carolina. We're at Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium for the non-conference game this evening between the Francis Marion Patriots and the Queen's University of Charlotte Royals. Patriots taking the field in their home whites. Weston Rogers, the sophomore southpaw from Mullen, South Carolina, will be on the hill. The defense behind him out in left field, it's Will Hardy. Center fielder is Gage Taylor. Cole Hinnant in right. On the infield, Tanner Wakefield at third. C.J. Mackinson, the senior, at short. Second baseman is Brian Kahn. Nick Pappas at first, and senior catcher Alex Griffith forming the battery with Rogers. For Queens, their lineup tonight leading off is their second baseman Dominic Ford. At first base and batting second, Noah Jones. Batting third and doing the catching, Anthony Orta. Cleaning up is the shortstop, Nick Melton. DH Tanner Jacobson will hit fifth. In right field and batting sixth, Nick Brassington. Center fielder C.J. Hammonds will hit seventh. In the eighth spot, third baseman Alex Sexton. Left fielder Chase Hager bats ninth. And towing the slab for Queens will be Evan Dix. Patriots come in at 20-14 under head coach Art Inabinet. And Queens, in their first season as a Division II baseball program, they are 9-23 under former Major Leaguer Jack McDowell. Program just started up. This is their first season at the Division II level. They competed at the club level a season ago in their unofficial inaugural season. 47 degrees, overcast skies. We had rain when we woke up this morning and through much of the day, but it cleared up probably around, or at least the rain stopped. It didn't really clear up. There's still plenty of clouds in the area, but the rain stopped probably about 3 o'clock or so this afternoon, and the field is ready for play for the second meeting of the season between the Patriots and the Royals. FMU with a 16-3 win back in late February on this field against the Royals. It started off with a bang as FMU scored 10 runs in the bottom of the first inning on that night. And tonight, the first pitch right at 6 o'clock is cut on and missed by Ford from Rogers, and we are underway. In this final non-conference home game for FMU, they have just one Peach Belt Conference home series left as well, so we're running out of games for FMU here in Florence. After a very heavy home schedule at the beginning of the season, Patriots are 13-9 here at Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium this season. Today's umpires, Mike Parnell is behind the plate. He was here last week for the Patriots non-conference game as well, as that one is fouled back to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Ford. He is joined by Ted Miller on the bases. Rogers on the mound, 6'2" sophomore lefty out of Mullen, South Carolina, 2-3 record on the season for Rogers. This is his 8th start, 11th overall appearance. And he misses inside to run the count full on Dominic Ford. Ford comes into today hitting an even .270. He has played in all but 2 games for Queens this year. He fouls that one away to stay alive. Rogers played 1 season at Florence Darlington Tech before coming to Francis Marion. Was the NJCAA Region 10 Pitcher of the Year. Went 7-1 with a 2.62 ERA. This one's looped back of first, and it'll go just foul. Nick Pappas in pursuit. Ford went 2 for 4. A couple of hits the first time the Royals came to Florence. Weston Rogers did not pitch against Queens in that game. At that point in the season, he was a part of the weekend rotation. He has swapped spots with Isaac Rogers, who was earlier the midweek starter for FMU. Driven out into right. Cole Hinnant drifting toward right center. Makes the catch. Gage Taylor backing him up. Not needed on that particular play, and a lazy fly ball is how we get started this evening, induced by Weston Rogers. Bring up the first baseman, Noah Jones, the most dangerous hitter by far in this Queens lineup. Third in the South Atlantic Conference with a .417 batting average, and he leads the Royals in total hits, runs scored, doubles, home runs, and is tied for second on the team with 16 runs batted in. Takes a strike there from Rogers. 0-1. Rogers worked an inning in the first game of Saturday's doubleheader against ninth-ranked North Georgia over the weekend for FMU. Allowed 1 run in his inning of work. His last start came as a part of a doubleheader against Young Harris on the road back on March 17th. This is 0-2 with his outside offering, but he has given the Patriots some length in his earlier starts, including back-to-back 8-inning outings in February and conference tilts at Augusta and at home here against Flagler. Line foul by Jones. Patriots coming off of a win in their most recent contest Sunday afternoon, knocking off ninth-ranked North Georgia in extra innings, 7-4. Chop to the left side, deep in the hole. Mackinson, strong throw, is going to pull Pappas off the base, and it'll be a base hit for Noah Jones, who looked to have it beaten out anyway, even if Mackinson's throw had not pulled the Patriot first baseman off the pillow. So Jones, who had 2 hits and reached 3 times against FMU in the first meeting a little more than a month ago, is on yet again against the Patriots. The first base runner of the evening, 1 on with 1 out here in the top of the first with the catcher Anthony Orta at the dish for the Royals. Rogers fires a breaking ball that seemed to slip out of his hand. Orta hitting .289, a pair of homers, and 11 runs batted in. Went 0 for 1 against Francis Marion. That came back on February the 27th, a 16-3 Patriot win. That was a stretch in which they scored 14 runs or more in 5 out of 6 games. Rogers misses in to fall behind 3-0 on Orta. They beat USC Aiken 20-4, then Queens 16-3, lost in extra innings to Newberry, and then their next 3 non-conference games, all healthy wins: 19-0 over Davis and Elkins, and then 14-6 and 16-4 wins over Chowan. Ball 4 to Orta, and the Royals have 2 on with 1 out here in the top of the opening inning. Bring up the cleanup hitting shortstop Nick Melton. As a team, Queens hitting .255 with a .346 on-base percentage this season. They are averaging 5.3 runs per game. They are tied for 10th in the South Atlantic Conference standings at 3-12. Patriots are 7th in the Peach Belt at 11-10. First one to Melton. Off-speed pitch called to strike. So far, all guys hitting from the right side against the lefty Weston Rogers. Patriots don't have very many lefties on their staff. One of the others being weekend starter Josh Bobrowski. But it's primarily righties that come out of their bullpen. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Melton went 3 for 4 in late February here in Florence and was one of 2 Queens players to hit a home run in that game. Ryan Dudney, not in the starting lineup today, hit the other for the Royals that evening. Both of the home runs coming against the Patriots starter in that outing, which was Isaac Rogers. Weston Rogers deals. Gets a call at third on the outside corner. Big strikeout for the lefty. His first of the evening. It's the second out. And the runners have to stay put for the designated hitter, Tanner Jacobson. Jacobson, a .290 hitter. A pair of homers and 7 runs batted in. 17th game and 9th start for Jacobson. Ball off the point outside. Alex Griffith having to reach way across his body to grab it. Jacobson, switch hitter from Pittsburgh. Batting from the right side against the lefty Rogers, who's trying to work around the one-out single and the 4-pitch walk that followed. Got him to go fishing for one. Runner out at second base. Noah Jones thought about trying to advance, but once he saw that Griffith had it covered and kept it in front of him right at the plate, he scampered back to the base. Out at second. Rogers delivers. Fouled back. FMU with the third best ERA in the conference at 4.46. This staff has racked up a lot of strikeouts this season, 315 to be exact, second most in the PBC. And they have struck out 9.2 batters per 9 innings so far this year. Fouled away again by Jacobson. It has been the walks, especially recently, that have been FMU's bugaboo. We're trying to eliminate that, especially come this weekend when they face local rival UNC Pembroke in a 3-game series up in North Carolina. The top scoring offense in the conference awaits FMU this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 2-2 on Jacobson with Brassington in the on-deck circle. Should Jacobson reach and keep this first inning going? 2 on with 2 outs. Rogers trying to start his evening with a 0. Almost got his second strikeout, but barely getting a piece of it was Jacobson there to keep the inning alive. Queens over the weekend dropping 2 out of 3 to Mars Hill, including a split of a doubleheader on Saturday. Their most recent conference action. Roller foul off the third base side. Mentioned last week when the Patriots were playing Limestone that the night before Limestone came here to Florence, they knocked off Queens. Saints ended up beating the Patriots as well last week. FMU splitting their 2 non-conference meetings with Limestone as Rogers gets Jacobson swinging, and back-to-back strikeouts help the sophomore strand a couple on the base paths in the top of the first. FMU coming up for the first time against Evan Dix in the bottom of the first in a moment on the Patriot Sports Network. 6'7" freshman right-hander Evan Dix on the mound for Queens this evening. He'll be facing left fielder Will Hardy, a fellow freshman, to get things started here in the bottom of the first. Right fielder Cole Hinnant and center fielder Gage Taylor to follow here in the Patriot first inning. Hardy takes one upstairs. The rest of the Patriot lineup cleaning up is the first baseman Nick Pappas, catching and batting fifth Alex Griffith. DH Michael Kakos hits sixth. The one out of the zone to Hardy. Third baseman Tanner Wakefield in the seventh spot. Shortstop CJ Mackison hits eighth. And at the bottom, it's second baseman Brian Kahn. 2-0 to Hardy from Evan Dix is a strike. Defensively behind Dix will be Chase Hager out in left field, C.J. Hammonds in center, Nick Brassington in right, Alex Sexton at third, Nick Melton at short. As this one is lined out into left center by Hardy, a interesting route taken by Hammonds, but he hauls it in for out number one. Kind of started in a little bit, then had to drift back, but he made the play. Rest of the Queens defense on the right side of the infield, it's Dominic Ford at second. Noah Jones at first. Behind the plate is Anthony Orta. Dix, an 0-1 record. His sixth overall appearance and second start carries with him a 7.88 ERA. As his first pitch to Cole Hinnant hits him right in the back. So the Patriots' first base runner is a hit batter here with one out in the bottom of the first. Brings up center fielder Gage Taylor. The rest of the numbers on Evan Dix in 8 innings this season so far. He's allowed 8 hits, 10 runs, 7 of which have been earned, 7 walks, 11 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .235 against the Virginia native. Most recently, worked an inning and 2/3 against Barton back on March 19th. Gage Taylor at the plate for FMU, hitting .345 this season, not too far outside of the top 10 in the Peach Belt Conference. 3 home runs and 35 runs batted in. That leads Francis Marion and is tied for fourth most in the PBC. Taylor takes a strike. The count evens at a ball and a strike. Taylor also second in the conference with 41 runs scored. Picked up his third home run of the season over the weekend at North Georgia. Fouls this one straight back. Patriots have run fewer times than anyone in the Peach Belt except for the North Georgia Nighthawks. Both of those teams are 22 out of 25 stealing bases. So the Patriots don't run a lot, but when they do, they are usually successful. Over at first base, Hinnant has been successful the only 2 times he's tried to steal. As Taylor skies this one out into shallow right. Coming in is Brassington. He makes the catch. And it holds at first. So with 2 outs, it's up to the cleanup inning first baseman, Nick Pappas. The junior in his first season with the Patriots, hitting .321. A pair of homers. He's driven in 28. Dix fires in a strike, 0-1. He did pitch against FMU in that February 27th game here in Florence, went a scoreless inning with a couple of strikeouts. Ground ball to the right side. Making the play is Ford, and the Patriots get a 1-out base runner via the hit batter, but are unable to score in the first. After 1, no score between Queens and FMU on the Patriot Sports Network. We go to the second. No score between the Patriots and the Royals. It'll be Brassington, Hammonds, and Sexton, the 6, 7, 8 hitters, and head coach Jack McDowell's lineup due up against Weston Rogers, the Patriots sophomore lefty, here in the second. The ground ball out to Mackinson is short. Easy play for the senior, whose throw is right on target to Pappas. 1 pitch and 1 out for Weston Rogers here in the top of the second. He allowed an infield single and also walked a batter in that first inning, but then he struck out the next 2 to escape any trouble. Brings up the center fielder, C.J. Hammonds, hitting $164 so far this season. Gage Taylor moves a couple of steps to the left of the bag, out in straightaway center field. His first pitch is foul tipped by Hammonds for strike 1. .3 runs a game for this Queens University offense. It's a swing and a miss. Chased one off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On the count on the center fielder, Hammonds. Hammonds Jr. out of Whiteville, North Carolina. Transfer from Southeastern Community College. Lots of youth, as you would expect from a program in its inaugural Division II season. High chopper to the left side, waiting for it to come down Wakefield. Toss to first is offline. It looked like the runner was going to beat it out anyway, and it'll be a base hit. For Hammonds. Wakefield had to wait for that one to come down. And by the time he did, had to rush his throw a little bit, and it was not in time and a little bit offline anyway. Was the second hit for Queens, and they have a 1-out base runner here for the third baseman, Sexton. Runner takes off, pitches outside. Griffith's throw sails back into the runner. It's a little bit late. A stolen base for Hammonds. So a runner in scoring position now for Queens after Hammonds collects his 6th steal of the season. He is a perfect 6 for 6 in swipe attempts. This one's fouled away. 1 ball and 1 strike on Sexton. Sexton comes into tonight's game hitting .155 in the year. 3 homers, 13 runs batted in. 29 home runs in total for Queens. They have some power. Just fouled on the third base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Sexton at the plate. Queens with a runner in scoring position and less than 2 outs for the second consecutive inning. They had 2 on with 1 out last inning after the single and walk. Rogers once again trying to pitch his way out of a little bit of trouble in the early going. He got out of it last inning with a pair of strikeouts. Now 2-2 on Sexton with the 9th hitter, Hager, in the on-deck circle. Rogers fires. Gets a pop-up out into shallow right. Cole Hinnant circling under it. The runner is going to tag and try to advance to third, and he will do so with ease. So Hammonds advances over to third. It's the second out of the inning. And now the left fielder, Chase Hager, will have a 2-out RBI chance for Queens to try to break the early scoreless tie. Hager hitting .277. He's driven in 9 so far. Junior out of Davenport, Iowa. Transfer from Iowa Western Community College. And Rogers misses wide with his first. Emmons over at third is the first player from either team to get as far as third base here in the early going. And Rogers trying to strand him there. Looking to strand a runner in scoring position for the second consecutive inning. Sophomore out of Mullins, South Carolina. Good breaking ball that Hager could not connect with. So Rogers a strike away from once again working his way out of a spot of trouble here in the second, trying to keep the game scoreless between the Patriots and the Royals. He deals, gets him with another breaking ball. 3 strikeouts now in the first 2 innings for Weston Rogers. And Queens will strand a runner over at third base after an inning and a half, scoreless on the Patriot Sports Network. Alex Griffith will get it started for FMU in the bottom of the second. Second best offense in the Peach Belt, this Patriot offense in terms of total runs and runs per game. 265 total runs, 7.8 per game. Only UNC Pembroke, the Braves, have scored more and are averaging more runs a game than FMU, as Griffith is hit by a pitch. And for the second time in the first 5 batters, Evan Dix hits a Patriot. He hit it with 1 out in the first. And now Griffith aboard to begin the Patriots' second. It brings up the designated hitter, Michael Kakos. Kakos, redshirt freshman, getting his second start of the season, getting .286. First one to Kakos is right down Main Street for a strike. Coming into tonight, Dix had hit 3 batters in his 8 innings. It's higher than most pitchers, but not quite as high as a 1 per inning rate, which he's on so far tonight. Strike 1 to Kakos, bounces up, and it eventually does bounce away from the catcher, Orta. Looked like he had it blocked initially, but he didn't realize it, and I think he might have inadvertently kicked it, or maybe it bounced off his shin guard and ricocheted away. And the wild pitch allows Griffith to become the first FMU runner in scoring position as he scoots on down to second. Ball and a strike on Keikos. Takes a bender for a strike. Keikos with a 286 average, a couple of RBIs, 4 for 14. Recently starting to get a few more at-bats. Looking to drive in the first run of the day here, and he laces this one out into shallow right center field. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Griffith had to make sure it was going to drop, and so he stops at third. The throw sails over the first cutoff man, but Dix is there to back it up. And Michael Keikos is aboard with FMU's first hit of the night. With the single into right center. And now Tanner Wakefield has runners in the corners, nobody out. An opportunity to drive in a run without even a hit to put FMU on top with the game's first run. Wakefield at 312. 21st start of the season, 25th overall appearance. The FMU red, white, and blue for another redshirt freshman, just like Keikos, and he fouls it back. Wakefield had made a few starts at second base in the recent past with Fred Wadsworth getting some starts at third base, but Wakefield back at the hot corner tonight. Ball and a strike. With Griffith at third and Keikos at first. A hit batter, a wild pitch, and then a single. Dix fires. Turning out of the way is Wakefield. Queens used 9 pitchers in 8 innings in that meeting back in late February, and no one went more than an inning and 2/3. We'll see if once again it is a Johnny Holstaff approach. Bouncer to short could be 2. And the Royals will not quite get it as Wakefield is a little bit too quick up the line. The fielder's choice. Melton got it to Ford for 1, but the relay to Jones was not in time. It'll be a fielder's choice. And Tanner Wakefield will be rewarded for his hustle with an RBI. His 12th of the season, and FMU has the first run of the evening on a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second as C.J. Mackinson digs in for his first at-bat of the evening. Senior out of Saxville, Maryland. Hitting .254 on the year. And Dix drops in a strike. Mackinson with 2 homers and 17 runs batted in. Both of his homers came in the same non-conference game against Chowan back in early March, right here at Sparrow Stadium, downstairs with that offering. Junior Lenio Gonzalez hit a pair of home runs over the weekend, becoming the second Patriot this season to have a multi-homer game. Those are the only 2. The Patriots haven't hit a ton of home runs this season. They have 22 as a team. No one with more than 5. It is Gonzalez who leads FMU with 5. Wakefield running on the pitch, and that one is foul tipped by Mackinson. So Wakefield will have to retreat. Wakefield 1 for 2 stealing bags this year. 1 and 2 on Mackinson. Got him on the outside part of the plate. Mackinson caught looking. First strikeout for the righty Evan Dix. The second out of this Patriots second inning. And it'll bring up the junior second baseman, Brian Kahn. Kahn from Durham, North Carolina. First-year Patriot, who's a transfer from Lewisburg College. takes a strike 0-1. Kahn 2 for 11 at the plate this year, including a double. Just his second start of the year. One of his 2 hits did come against Queens. He went 1 for 1 against the Royals in that meeting back in late February. Fouls this one back to all behind in the count, 0-2. Bounce out by Tanner Wakefield, driving in Alex Griffith. How the Patriots scored this inning. Griffith having reached, after he was hit by a pitch to start the inning, moved to second on a wild pitch, to third on the Keiko single, and then in on the Wakefield ground ball. And there's a third strike to Kahn, and it's back-to-back looking strikeouts for Evan Dix to end the inning. So he responds to giving up his first run with a couple of Ks, and we'll go to the third with FMU leading it 1-0. The Patriot Sports Network. New pitcher on for the Patriots as we go to the top of the third, leading 1-0. It is redshirt freshman right-hander Noah Davis, 6'2", out of Lexington, South Carolina. He'll be facing the top of the Queens lineup, Ford, Jones, and Orta. So a couple of scoreless innings for Weston Rogers at the start of this game, as Ford tips it into the glove of Griffith to begin the third. Allowed 2 hits, walked 1, and struck out 3. Did Rogers, stranding a runner in scoring position in each of his first 2 innings. And FMU got him the lead in the bottom of the second. So Rogers can possibly pick up his 3rd win of his first season here at FMU if FMU does not surrender the lead for the rest of the night. Davis got ahead 0-2 and then had that one get away from him a little bit. Ford is 0 for 1 tonight. Started off the game by flying out to hit it in right. Just missed a little bit off the plate outside. Did Davis 2-2 on Ford. Noah Davis worked an inning, allowed 1 hit, walked 1 and struck out 2. Did not give up a run against Queens in February. This one is skied out into shallow left center field. Taylor comes in, and it drops in front of he and Mackinson. Throw back to first to try to get the runner. And he's back in there safely. It's a bloop single for Ford. Mackinson, the shortstop, was going out and looked like he had every intention of making the play himself, but he must have heard Gage Taylor, the center fielder, calling him off because he backed off a little bit, and Taylor didn't quite get there. And so it falls in for Queens' third hit of the evening. They now have one hit in each of the first 3 innings. Patriots with one so far. Now Noah Jones. He had a single back in the opening inning. And he ricochets that one off the foot, I think, of Noah Davis into center field. Another hit for Jones. Runner trying to go first to third. He'll make it as the throw actually hits the runner. And that allows Jones to, behind the plate, take second. So a single right back up the middle by Jones, his second hit of the game. Gets Ford all the way to third, and the heads-up base running by Jones. And the fact that the throw hit the runner sliding into third and then rolled away helps him take the extra base and get to second. So Queens with second and third, nobody out. Quickly looking to answer the Patriot run from the bottom of the second. Good block there by Griffith as Orta is at the plate. Walked his first time up. So early in this contest, a big spot for Noah Davis to try to work himself out of. Bounced foul. The Patriots will really wish that they had that first single of the inning back. Just kind of fell in between a couple of fielders. Especially if that runner Ford ends up scoring. Davis fires. Missed a little bit high, just above the belt, it appeared. Orta, a 289 hitter. Sitting on 11 runs batted in. A base hit might get him 2 more right here and give Queens their first lead. Got him to chase one upstairs. Davis could really use a strikeout here of Orta. See if he can get him to chase another one here on the 2-2. He doesn't need it. Gets him looking. That's 4 strikeouts now for Patriot pitching. First for Davis, and he does get that strikeout for the first out of the inning. Brings up the cleanup inning shortstop Nick Melton, who struck out looking his first time up against the starter Weston Rogers. That one's fouled back. Queens has struck out a lot on a few occasions, including a 22 strikeout game and a loss to Tusculum earlier this year. And already, as I mentioned, 4 here tonight. And a balk is called against Davis, and so Queens ties it up. Did not see what Davis did or didn't do to get the umpires to call a balk, but now the game is tied, and the Patriot head coach Arden Abinet is making his way out toward the field. He wanted an explanation from the base umpire, Ted Miller, and apparently he got his explanation as he's headed back into the dugout. 1-1 on Melton, so Ford comes in to tie it. Jones moves up a station to third. There's strike 2. So the Patriots give the 1-run lead right back. And now Queens could take the lead. The chopper to the right side. This will get the job done. A high bounce for Kahn. He makes the play to throw out Melton, but Queens takes a 2-1 lead as into score comes Noah Jones. RBI number 22 for Melton. That leads the Royals. And they have their first lead. Patriots scored 10 in the bottom of the first inning in that first meeting. So they led throughout that contest. So Queens with their first lead ever against FMU, just their second all-time meeting. Tanner Jacobson takes one in the dirt. He's 0 for 1 with a swinging strikeout his first time up. Davis deals. Misses a little bit inside. Fourth game in a row, the Patriots have scored first. This one's drilled into right field. Going back toward the track is Hinton. Reaches up and it's out of his glove. And the runner slips and falls halfway between first and second. He will get up and still make it there. It's a double for Jacobson, who can laugh about it now that he made it there safely. I did not know that there were snipers out in the stands tonight. Apparently there are, and one tripped up Jacobson. Five hits now for the Royals, third of the inning. And they have another runner in scoring position here with 2 outs for the right fielder, Nick Brassington. Cole Hinton almost able to reel that one in as he raced onto the track. But it just did not stick in his mitt. See if Davis is able to work around that one. High chopper. That one's going to get over the head of Wakefield at third base and get down the line. This will get another run in for the Royals. Brassington on his way to second looking for 2, and he will make it head first. Back-to-back 2-out doubles for the Royals. And it is now a 3-run inning for Queens. Brassington with his 6th run batted in on his 4th double of the season. Now the center fielder Hammonds, who's 1 for 1 with a single, digs in. 6 hits already for the Royals. Strike there from Noah Davis. FMU with some more action in their bullpen, a right-hander throwing. See if Davis can get himself out of the third inning. He's likely only going to go an inning anyway. It seems the way things are setting up. Wakefield on the charge. Gets the third out over at first base. But the Royals strike for 3, and they lead 3-1. Middle of the third here on the Patriot Sports Network. Top of the order for FMU here in the bottom of the third inning, which means Will Hardy will get things started. He's 0 for 1, flying to center his first time up. Tonight is Greek Life Night here at Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium, and we would like to recognize the fraternities and sororities who are here in attendance. We have Alpha Data Pi, Kappa Alpha Order, Kappa Delta, Tau Kappa Epsilon, and Zeta Tau Alpha. Thank them for coming out and supporting Patriot baseball tonight. Chopper over to first. Davis has it, flips to Dick's covering, and Hardy is retired to open up the bottom of this third inning. So, Patriot leadoff hitter 0 for 2. Brings up Cole Hinnant, one of two Patriots who has been hit by a pitch so far by Evan Dix. Cole, however, did not get past first base after he reached back in the opening inning. And it takes a strike. 1 for 4. In that game in late February, had a double, scored a run, and drove in another. Fouls this one back. Did not face Evan Dix in his inning of work in that contest, so second time he's faced him. Strike 2 pitch. Got him to chase the elevated fastball. 3 strikeouts now for Evan Dix as he gets hit and swinging, and the first 2 Patriots are down here in the bottom of the third. Dix struck out 4 Barton Bulldogs back on March 19th. Most he has banned so far. He's one shy of that mark as Gage Taylor tries to get something started with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Taylor 0 for 1. He flew out to right his first trip. Queens leading 3-1 with all 3 of the runs coming in the top of this third inning. FMU got their run in the bottom of the second. 2-0 on Taylor. Way out of the zone. 2 balls and no strikes on Gage Taylor. See if he's taking to try to get the Patriots a 2-out base runner on 3-0. He was. And Dix delivers a strike. Nick Pappas, the first baseman, would be next if Taylor is able to reach. Loops it out toward second. Couple steps in, forward makes the catch. And we have our first 1-2-3 frame of the night. Evan Dix delivers it for Queens, and we're headed to the fourth with the visiting Royals ahead 3-1 on the Patriot Sports Network. Christian Umflett, a 6'4 junior out of Charlotte, takes over for FMU on the mound here in the top of the fourth inning. Trying to keep the Patriots deficit at 2 as Alex Sexton leads things off for the Royals. Got 3 runs on 4 hits in the third inning. This one is lined past Tanner Wakefield. Down in the left field corner, Sexton on his way to second. He will coast in there, take a turn, and then hold with a leadoff double. There's been some good swings by the Royals in these first few innings. 3 of the last 4 batters for the Royals now have doubles. Last inning with 2 outs, Jacobson and Brassington had back-to-back 2-baggers to produce a 2-out run, and now Sexton with the leadoff double here in the fourth, already the 7th hit for Queens tonight. Patriots have just 1 so far through 3 innings against Evan Dix. Chase Hager now 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He was the last batter for the starter Weston Rogers to face. Rogers got it started with a couple of scoreless innings, then Noah Davis pitched the third, now Umflett here in the fourth. Patriots bringing their corner infielders in, expecting a bunt, but there hasn't been a sign of a bunt from Hager through the first 2 pitches of the at-bat. Both of them have missed the strike zone from Umflett. Worked an inning and 2/3 in Game 1 of Saturday's Twin Bill against North Georgia. Last time out here at home. Struck out 3 in an inning and a third of work last Wednesday against Limestone. This one's drilled out into right center field. Gage Taylor reaches up and makes the catch. For out number 1, scampering over to third is Sexton. And Taylor really had to get on his horse to grab that one as it jumped off the bat of Hager. A nice play out there in right center by Taylor to get the out. But a productive out it is for Queens as they advance the runner over to third. And now the leadoff hitter, Dominic Ford, with a runner at third and just 1 out, an opportunity to extend the visitors' lead to 3. Got last inning started with a bloop single. And up in no man's land out in shallow left center field. In between the left and center fielders, Hardy and Taylor, and the retreating shortstop, Mackinson. He came around to score after a balk was called. Bouncer just over the outstretched glove of Umflett, and it makes its way into center field. A base hit for Ford that had eyes. It just got over the outstretched glove of Umflett, and neither the shortstop Magginson or the second baseman Kahn could keep it on the infield either. So an RBI single for Dominic Ford. 2 hits tonight for Ford. It's his 17th RBI. It's now 4-1 Royals with 1 on 1 out here in the top of the fourth. Pickoff sends Ford back to the base. He is the biggest threat to run in this Queens lineup. 20 steals in 21 tries. Those 20 steals, third most in the South Atlantic Conference. Umflett trying to prevent him from stealing. Went with a slide step to the plate there, but missed. To Noah Jones, who's 2 for 2, a couple of singles. He scored a run. Jones likes Patriot pitching so far this year. Is 4 for 5 across the 2 games. Swing and a miss. Umflett did pitch for the Patriots in the first meeting, went a scoreless inning, allowing 1 hit. Jones picked up an infield single against Umflett in that meeting. Runner goes, pitches outside. Griffith's throw down to Kahn is in time, and just for the second time this season, Dominic Ford is caught stealing. So another runner erased from the base pass by the strong throwing arm of Alex Griffith. And the bases are now clean with 2 away. 2 balls and a strike to count on Jones at the plate. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A walk and a strike, or rather, 2 singles, I should say, for Jones. Orta on deck in case the inning should continue. Griffith has now caught exactly 1/3 of the base runners that have tried to run on him, 8 out of 24. Payoff pitch. Jones strikes out, so Umflett gets some help from his catcher, Griffith, with the caught stealing, and then picks up a strikeout to end the inning, but Queens does add a 4th run on the RBI single by Ford, and they lead it now by 3 as we go to the bottom of the 4th on the Patriot Sports Network. New pitcher for Queens in the bottom of the 4th. It is junior left-hander Jack Bergeron out of Chicago, Illinois. Bergeron so far this season, an 8.28 ERA, 3-4 record, 7 appearances, 6 of which have been starts. He has allowed 40 hits in 29 1/3 innings, 34 runs, 27 of them earned, 20 strikeouts, 13 walks, opponents hitting .331. He will start by facing a lefty and pitcher at first baseman Nick Pappas. 4-1 Queens. FMU struck first, but Queens responded with 3 in the 3rd and another in the top of this 4th inning to take a 3-run lead as Pappas takes a strike. Pappas to be followed by Alex Griffith and Michael Kakos. 4, 5, and 6 in Coach Arden Abinet's lineup tonight for the red, white, and blue. Pappas grounded out to the second baseman Ford his first time up. The freshman Evan Dix, his longest outing of his career, 3 innings, allowed a run on 1 hit, didn't walk a batter, and struck out 3. Ground ball to the left side this time. Swallowed up with a shortstop Melton. He throws out Pappas to begin the 4th inning. Francis Marion University Athletics would like to thank the following sponsors: Adidas, Circle Park Behavioral Health Services, Domino's, McLeod Regional Medical Center, Carolina's hospital system, Ken Jackson and Remax Professionals, Pepsi, McDonald's, Rains Hospitality, including Fairfield Inn, Spring Hill Suites, and Courtyard by Marriott, Mike Rickenbach, Ford Lincoln Mercury, South Carolina Education Lottery, King Cadillac Buick GMC, McLeod Sports Medicine, the Counseling Center of Florence, Chick-fil-A, State Farm and Agent Jim Stewart, Quincy Steakhouse, Little Caesars, La Quinta Inn and Suites, KFC, Arby's, Julia Bell's Restaurant, PD Electric Cooperative, Sparrow and Kennedy Tractor Supply, Western Sizzlin Steakhouse, State Credit Union, and Zaxby's. Griffith skies this one out into left center field, deep but playable, for the center fielder Hammonds, who puts it away for out number 2. Well, since the single by Keikos, who's coming to the plate now for FMU, it's been 8 straight retired by Queens pitching. After the Keikos single, FMU had runners on the corners with nobody out. In the bottom of the second inning, Wakefield bounced into a fielder's choice to get Griffith in from third base. And that was the first of 8 straight Patriots to be set down by these Royals. The first 6 of them by the starter Dix, and now 2 by Berggren, who is quickly ahead of Keikos, 0-2. Keikos now 2 for 2 against Queens pitching. And he goes down on 3 pitches. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Royals, and they take a 4-1 lead into the 5th on the Patriots Sports Network. Second inning of work for Christian Umflett. He fires in a strike to the catcher, Anthony Orta. Nick Melton and Tanner Jacobson, 3, 4, and 5 do it for Queens here in the 5th as they lead 4-1. Big weekend series coming up for both teams. For the Patriots, we mentioned earlier, they'll be facing UNC Pembroke. Both of those teams, the Braves and the Patriots, the top 2 scoring teams in the Peach Belt, and both fighting for places in the upcoming PBC tournament, as this one is served into left field. A base hit by Orta. He's on for the second time. He walked earlier in the contest. And for Queens, they will be playing Catawba College. The Indians ranked 4th in the most recent Collegiate Baseball newspaper poll that came out yesterday. This one's fouled off. The runner was in motion. It's fouled off at the plate by Melton. Friday at 6 p.m. and then a Saturday doubleheader at 1 for Queens this weekend, while the Patriots against UNCP will have single games on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, at least as long as Mother Nature cooperates. Has occasionally shifted the weekend series plans for FMU and their Peach Belt brethren this year. Some of the notable results from earlier in the season for Royals: they beat number 23 Mount Olive 1-0. Trojans are up to 17th in the latest poll. Patriots will see them, Mount Olive that is, very soon. In fact, it is 1 week from tonight, 5 o'clock first pitch at Mount Olive. For FMU next week, that'll be a good measuring stick as the Patriots come down the stretch of the regular season. And then next weekend, FMU with their final 3 home games, Columbus State in town for a Friday through Sunday series. Bouncer to the left side. That one's going to get through another base hit. Melton with his first hit of the night as he splits Wakefield and Mackinson on the left side of the diamond. And the first 2 Royals are on here in the 5th as they are up to an even 10 hits now. There's 3 straight innings in which they have had at least 2 hits. They had 4 in their 3-run third, 2 more last inning to push across another run. And although they didn't score in the first and second inning, they did at least get 1 runner into scoring position in each of those innings. Both times, though, they were turned away by Weston Rogers, who got the start for FMU tonight. 2-1 with nobody out for Jacobson. Doubled his last time up and scored. And Umflett misses with his first offering here. Christian Umflett making his 52nd career relief appearance. That has him in the top 5 all-time here at FMU in relief appearances. Might be a little bit of a stretch to say he would break that record this season, but he should. If he doesn't break it this season, will probably break it next year, unless, of course, he becomes a starter, which would ruin his chance at getting the relief appearance record. Ball and a strike on Jacobson at the plate, who has a strikeout to go with his double. Scored one of the 3 Queens runs in that 3rd inning. He's got Orta at second and Melton at first, with nobody out. As the Royals look for more. Taps it foul right at the plate for the second strike. Two teams in the top 30 in the Peach Belt Conference in the latest national poll. North Georgia, number 9. Same as they were last week. Patriots won 1 of the 3-game series in Dahlonega over the weekend against the Nighthawks. Low roller to the third base side, but it's going to go foul. And then Columbus State, who I mentioned, is coming here next weekend. Checks in at number 30. Speaking of the 9th-ranked Nighthawks, they're at home tonight in a non-conference game against Anderson, leading 3-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Good block there by Griffith on a pitch downstairs. Elsewhere in the Peach Belt, Augusta losing 11-2 at Valdosta State in the 9th inning. And Flagler scoreless at home against St. Leo in the 6th. Here it's 4-1 Queens in the top of the 5th. Patriots scored first in the 2nd. Queens has answered with 3 in the 3rd and 1 in the 4th, threatening for more here in the 5th with the first 2 aboard via singles. They have out-hit the Patriots to this point, 10-1. Christian Umflett, the 3rd Patriot hurler of the evening. More action, though, has started behind him in the bullpen. Down and away, full count. Payoff. Ground ball, another one that's just past a Patriot defender. Down the left field line it goes. This is going to get at least one run in for Queens. They're going to wave a second runner around. Here comes the relay throw to the plate. Griffith's tag will be in time. As the slide from Melton, he came up a little bit short of the plate, and the throw being a little bit up the third base line ends up working out perfectly for Francis Marion as it led Griffith right into the base runner. It's an RBI double for Tanner Jacobson as Orta comes in to score. And then it is Melton thrown out at the plate. It's the second double for Jacobson. It's a 5-1 lead for the Royals, and a run at second with one out for Nick Brassington, who drove in a run with a double his last time up. Aggressive over at third base, the Royals head coach Jack McDowell, former major leaguer, drafted by the White Sox, played most of his major league career on the south side of Chicago, 7 years with them. Also spent time in the majors with the Yankees, the Indians, and the Angels. 127 career wins, over 1,300 career strikeouts, and also a Cy Young Award for the American League in 1993. And the first coach in program history here at Queens. Last year they competed at the club level. This year, our first member of D2 on the baseball front, members of the South Atlantic Conference. This one's lifted out into right center field. That one's going to get down another base hit. This is going to get another run in for Queens as Taylor gets it in. He'll hold Brassington to a single, but it's the second run scoring knock of the evening for the Queens right fielder. And it is now 6-1 in favor of the visitors. I mentioned this is the first season for Queens in baseball. They're, of course, not strangers to the SAC in other sports. Their men's basketball program has been very successful over the last few seasons and made a run to the Elite Eight this year after storming through the regular season and tournaments in the SAC. They were the Southeast Regional champions. Of course, very strong men's and women's swimming teams as well, national champions this year. Thanks to Michael Hawkins for that note. Always has my back with interesting tidbits. Of course, it was right on the tip of my tongue. I just wouldn't have remembered had he not written it down. It is C.J. Hammonds, the center fielder, at the plate for Queens. 2 runs in this inning. They have scored at least 1 in 3 innings in a row to take a 1-0 Patriot lead and turn into, at least for the moment, a 5-run Royals lead. And it's been 4 straight hits to start this inning for Queens, with the 1 out coming when Nick Melton was thrown out at the plate trying to score on a Jacobson double. It's been single, single, double, single. 2 runs in, 1 runner thrown at the plate, 1 runner at first base. Umputt's 2-2 pitch, fouled away. And the hits are now 12-1 in favor of Queens. Patriots 13-9 here in Florence this year, but running out of home games. Last non-conference home game here tonight, and just those 3 that I mentioned next weekend against currently 30th ranked Columbus State. That's it for home games this year for the Patriots. Got on and missed. A big strikeout there for Umflett as Hammonds goes down. Second strikeout for Umflett tonight, second out of this fifth inning. His second inning of work. And the third baseman, Alex Sexton, now with 2 down, comes to the plate for his third at-bat of the evening. He has flown out and doubled in his 2 trips. One run scored for Sexton. Freshman from Dunedin, Florida. And Umflett pours in a strike. When we get to the bottom of the fifth, FMU will have the bottom third of their order coming up. Wakefield, Mackinson, and Kahn. Rodder takes off from first. It's drilled down the left field line. But it's foul. That one looked like it was going to be extra bases, possibly even a home run for Sexton. That one was close to the foul pole down there, but Patriots get a break as it stays to the left of it for a long strike. Runner takes off again. Pitches outside. Griffith's throw down. Just barely beating the tag is Brassington. Kahn did a good job there to quickly swipe the tag onto the sliding Brassington, but he just got to the base first. His third stolen base of the season. And another runner in scoring position for Queens here with 2 outs, 1-2 count on Sexton at the plate. Umflett deals, and the count now even. Next Patriot Sports Network broadcast, Saturday, 1 o'clock. Softball hosting Flagler. Just 3 home softball doubleheaders left. So we're running out of those games as well. Softball has Augusta next Wednesday, so a week from tonight. And then Saturday, April 20th, they wrap up their home slate against Lander. They were supposed to be up in North Carolina facing UNCP, but that one was postponed due to weather. The makeup yet to be announced for that softball twin bill between the Patriots and the Braves. They will meet, as I mentioned, on the baseball diamond this weekend. 2 schools separated by about 45 minutes. Full count on Sexton with 2 outs here in the fifth. 2 runs in, 1 runner in scoring position for Queens. Roger just foul down the left field line. Off the bat of Alex Sexton. Chase Hager, the 9th hitter and the left fielder, would be next if the inning continues past this batter. Patriots have had someone throwing off and on throughout this inning with their jacket on. Couldn't quite tell who it was. Liner into left field again. Another base hit for Queens. This is going to get their 7th run across as racing in is Brassington. So the stolen base ends up getting the Royals an extra run. His RBI single for Alex Sexton. His second hit of the game. And it's now 7-1. And Hager comes to the plate. His third at-bat of the evening. He is so far 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. Queens came in averaging 5.3 runs a game. They are already at 7, halfway through this contest or thereabouts here on the top of the 5th. They have a lot of good contact tonight against FMU pitching. In the past, the Patriots have struggled with walks. That has not been the case tonight. They have walked just one batter so far, and that came back in the first inning, and that runner ended up stranded at first base. It's just been good swings by Queens, line drives all over the place for the visitors from Charlotte. And flown out into right, hit it a step or so back. Now he'll come in and toward the line, make the catch, and end the inning. But again, Queens puts 3 more on the board, and they now lead at 7-1 halfway home here in Florence on the Patriot Sports Network. Taylor Wakefield has driven in the lone Patriot run to the first 4 innings, and he will get it started here in the bottom of the 5th. Drove in a run with a fielder's choice back in the 2nd to give FMU a short-lived 1-0 lead. Queens quickly responded with 3 in the next half inning, and they have stretched it out now to a 6-run margin. Fouled away by Wakefield. Jack Bergeron, his 2nd inning of relief work. The starter, Evan Dix. Bergeron spent his first 2 seasons at the University of Cincinnati. Pitched in 8 games for the Bearcats. Then last year, appeared in 10 games, including 8 starts for Queens at the club level. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Wakefield. Nine in a row set down by Queens pitching, including back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. Wakefield takes it low. Mackinson and Kahn to follow in the inning. The double play combo tonight for Francis Marion. Way inside, and Wakefield aboard on the walk. First batter that the Royals have walked so far this evening. Second time that the Patriots have had the leadoff runner on. The other time FMU got the leadoff runner on was when Alex Griffith was hit to begin the 2nd, and he eventually came around to score. So we'll see if the Patriots can take advantage of getting the leadoff runner on once again. Bergeron missing outside against Mackinson. Most recent outing for the lefty came at Limestone 1 week ago. Gave up 5 runs on 6 hits in 2/3 of an inning. Been primarily used as a starter 6 of his 8 outings have been starts. 2-1. Now on Mackinson, who's 0 for 1. He struck out looking against the starter Dix his first time up. 1 of 3 strikeouts for the freshman righty tonight. Mackinson bounces it just foul down the left field line towards the Queens bullpen. Queens has made a living so far tonight, hitting balls down or near the left field line. Mackinson was trying to do the same for FMU. Came up just a little bit shy. Whitefield diving back into first. Full count now on Mackinson. Patriots came in hitting .287 as a team, .380 on base. Both of those fifth in the conference. Chopped to third. Sexton gets it down to second for 1. The relay throw from Ford will not be in time. And so C.J. Mackinson is aboard on the fielder's choice. They get the lead runner Wakefield for the first out. And now second baseman Brian Kahn will come to the plate. Queens carried a .276 opponent's batting average and a .629 team ERA into the evening. That's 8th out of 11 teams in the South Atlantic Conference. As Kahn is swinging away in the first pitch, he flies it into right. Brassington there. Mackinson retreats, so the Patriots' second baseman retired on 1 pitch. And it's back to the top of the order. Left fielder Will Hardy. Hardy so far is 0 for 2. A flyout and a ground ball in his 2 at-bats. Got C.J. Mackinson over at first. With 2 outs here in the Patriot fifth, trailing 7-1. Hardy takes a strike, 0-1. Owns the longest hitting streak by a Patriot this season at a 13-game run. Strike 2. Has hit safely in his last 3 coming into tonight's game. The longest current streaks by the Patriots, a couple of 5-gamers. Nick Pappas and Gage Taylor each with 5 in a row coming into tonight, but neither one of them has extended that hitting streak as of yet, as they are each 0 for 2. 1-2 to Hardy. Takes it low. Came in with a .352 batting average, just outside of the PPC's top 10 hitters. He's 11th at the start of today's contest. And takes one a little bit wide to run the count full. So with a 3-2 count and 2 away, Mackinson will be off with the pitch over there at first base. But with the lefty on the mound, you have to be a little bit careful to make sure that Bergeron does, in fact, go to the plate first. And it's well wide, and Hardy draws the second walk of the inning. So a big opportunity now for the Patriots to strike for some 2-out runs. One of their leaders in runs batted in, Cole Hinnant, sitting on 29. Only Gage Taylor, who's on deck, has driven in more runs for FMU this season. And he's got C.J. Mackinson out at second and Will Hardy over at first with 2 away. Patriots down by 6. Off-speed pitch had Hinnant out in front. He has been hit by a pitch and struck out so far in his first 2 plate appearances of the evening. Down and in near the back foot of Hinnant, who has to jump out of the way. Senior out of Clayton, North Carolina. FMU with a big senior class that will be honored a week from Sunday. On Senior Day, the home finale against Columbus State. Chopper to the left side. Third baseman Sexton has it, throws a little high to the second baseman Ford, and it was high enough that it pulled him off the base. Everybody's safe. Ford trying to get back down on the base and apparently did not get his foot down in time. And so Hardy is safe at second. Everyone is safe on the fielder's choice E5. So the bases are now loaded with 2 outs for Gage Taylor. Already with a couple of grand slams on the season. That's a way to get the Patriots right back into this one. Team leader runs batted in with 35, tied for 4th most in the conference. He's got Mackinson at 3rd, Hardy at 2nd, and Hinnant at 1st. Fouls this one away for strike 2. That error by Sexton, the first error made by either team so far as we play here in the bottom of the 5th. The Patriots have 6 grand slams as a team this season, tied for the most by a Peach Belt Conference team in a single season, set by Young Harris last year. This won't be a grand slam, but that'll work. Pokes it through the left side to Taylor, and that's a 2-out, 2-run single for the Patriots senior center fielder. Needed that one in a big way as Mackinson and Hardy score. Could not have placed it any more perfectly on the left side of the diamond. And the Patriots' second hit of the evening makes it 7-3 now. Great piece of hitting by Taylor as he collects RBIs number 36 and 37 and keeps the inning going for Nick Pappas. Pappas slashes one foul as it sails out toward the entrance and the ticket booth here, the Griffin Athletic Complex. He break his bat. He needs a new one. Must not have liked the sound. Came off of that one. Maybe he significantly dented it. You don't see that too often, guys changing bats in the college game. Of course, bats break all the time in the pros, but of course they use wood. Ground ball fouled on the right field side. 1-2 on Pappas. In at second and Taylor at first. Have answered the 3 Queens runs in the top of this inning with 2 of their own here in the bottom half and looking for more. Down and away on Pappas, who so far is 0 for 2 with a couple of ground balls. The 1-2 outside. So the Patriots at least getting 2 runs that they would not have if not for the throwing error by Sexton that pulled the second baseman Ford off the base. And would have ended the inning. Instead, as Pappas takes one that just misses. Instead, that low to the bases for Taylor. Of course, punched that single through the left side to get the Patriots within 4. And the tying run has moved into the on-deck circle now in the form of Alex Griffith. Runners will be on the move here with a full count on Pappas. There they go. The pitch is fouled away. Pappas, a .321 hitter entering play today. 2 homers. He's driven in 28. 9 doubles as well for the junior. 3-2 again. Right back up the middle. Base hit for Pappas. Hinnant racing around third. He will score with ease, and Taylor scoots on over to third base. And FMU is now within 3 at 7-4, and Alex Griffith will now be the tying run at the plate. A 2-out rally by FMU as Nick Pappas gets RBI number 29. So making the Royals pay for their error. 3 2-out unearned runs And a chance for more as Coach McDowell makes his way out to the mound to have a chat with his infield and Berggren, and he will take the baseball away from the junior southpaw. While Queens makes this pitching change, we'll step aside for a moment on the Patriot Sports Network. Redshirt freshman righty Wes Bowling takes over for Queens. 6-1 out of Naples, Florida. He'll be facing Alex Griffith with 2 on and 2 out. And 3 runs in here in the Patriot fifth. They have cut the Queens lead to 7-4. Griffith was hit by a pitch back in the second inning and scored FMU's first run of the night, then flew out his last time. He's got Gage Taylor at third, Nick Pappas at first. Takes a strike here. Taylor with a 2-run single and Pappas with an RBI single of his own moments ago. Those were just the second and third hits of the night for FMU. It's been out hit 13-3, but still Griffith is the tying run at the plate here, and he drives this one out into straightaway center field. Going back and toward right center and making the catch just in front of the warning track is Hammonds for round number 3. Gave it a ride, but Griffith came up a little bit shy. And so the Patriots will have to settle for 3. They are down by 3 as we head to the 6th on the Patriot Sports Network. Patriots dip back into their bullpen. This time they will tab 6'5" senior right-hander Warren Specht out of Shawnee, Kansas. He becomes the fourth Francis Marion hurler of the night. They now trail 7-4, each team with 3 runs in the fifth. So we enter the sixth the same way we entered the fifth, with a 3-run margin for the visiting Queens Royals. Top of the order, Ford, Jones, and Orta due up for Queens here in the sixth against Specht. First year on the baseball team, couple seasons with Coach Gary Edwards on the basketball floor. And bounce back up the middle, ranging over behind the base. Mackinson rifles it to Pappas, and it gets by him, and it goes into the dugout. And so Ford will get to take second base. So the throwing error by the Patriots senior shortstop C.J. Mackinson allows the leadoff runner to reach here on the top of the sixth as Ford is on for the third time. And now Noah Jones, who's 2 for 3, a couple of singles and a strikeout. Specht did not pitch against Queens in the first meeting back in February. It's the first time he has seen the Royals, as Griffith is able to keep that one within arm's reach to keep the runner from trying to advance to third. Specht, a part of that team in 2017-18 that made the second NCAA tournament appearance in program history. Of course, the team made the tournament again this season, their third NCAA tournament on the men's basketball side. Specht on that team, 8 points and 4.5 rebounds a year ago before transitioning to the mound. It's 2-0 to Jones. There's a breaking ball in there for a called strike, 2-1. Worked a couple of innings and struck out 3 in the second game of Saturday's twin bill at North Georgia this past weekend. 13th appearance for FMU this season, a 1-1 record. He has struck out 18 in 12 2/3 innings. His overhand breaking ball didn't quite dip in time. 3-1. The count on Jones as the two 23s get together in this encounter. Specht deals, fills the count. To this point in the evening, 7 runs on 13 hits with an error for Queens, 4 runs with 3 hits and an error for Francis Marion. Jones with multiple hits in each game these two teams have played this season, and now he will reach for the third time tonight as he tosses the bat aside, having drawn a walk. Just the second walk issued by Patriot pitching tonight. There have not been a lot of walks, just 4 total. The Patriots came in offensively, having drawn the third most walks of any Peach Belt team. And we touched on earlier the struggles the staff has had at times this season issuing walks. So an error and a walk have the first 2 on for the Royals here in the sixth, with the catcher Orta at the plate. And once again, Griffith forced to block one at the plate, which he does. Orta has walked, struck out, and singled so far this evening. He has scored one of Queens' 7 runs. After stranding a runner in scoring position in each of the first 2 innings, they scored 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 3 in the fifth. So it's driven out into right center, ranging over. Gage Taylor makes the catch, runners both tagging. Mackinson cuts off the throw and was looking to throw to second, but both runners got good jumps, and so they will both move up on the flyout. Aggressive base running for Queens. They have done that throughout the evening and has only come back to bite them once so far, as they had a runner thrown out at the plate last inning. But their aggressiveness here could lead to a run scoring without a hit, as they now have runners at second and third with one out for Melton, the team leader in runs batted in this season. Chops one foul right through the hands of the Queens head coach, who is booed by his own dugout. That seems harsh. Coach will be asking for a review of the tape tomorrow, so he finds out who owes him sprints for making fun of him. Check swing. Patriots want the appeal. No swing, according to the base umpire, Ted Miller. I don't think he won a gold glove. No, we'll have to get the research department on that one. He did win a Cy Young, but I don't think a gold glove. Two balls and a strike on Melton at the plate, 1 for 3. Singled last inning, drove in a run with a ground out back in the 3-run third. Fouled off. And according to Baseball Reference, he did not win a gold glove. 3-time All-Star and a Cy Young Award, but no gold gloves, so. So swung on and missed. Melton goes down on strikes. Big strikeout there for the senior righty Warren Specht for the second out of the inning. Now a chance, if he can retire Jacobson, to work around the error and the walk to post the 0 and keep the Patriots within 3 runs. Took advantage of an error themselves last inning to score 3 unearned runs with 2 outs to get within 3. Jacobson fouls this one off. Jacobson struck out his first time up, but then has doubled each of his last 2 trips. 1 run batted in, and he has scored twice. He's got Ford at third and Jones at second here with 2 away. And a 1-1 count against him. Specht fires. Fastball in. Brassington, who has 2 hits as well in the on-deck circle. Should the inning continue past Jacobson? This right-handed heavy Queens lineup. So we're going to miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. An error start of the inning. A walk followed. Both runners tagged on a fly out to right center. And Specht picked up a strikeout. And now the count goes full on Jacobson. Six, 7, 8 coming up for the Patriots in the bottom of this inning to try to get closer. But first, Specht will try to keep them within 3 runs and keep Queens from scoring some 2-out runs. Driven down the right field line, and it's going to fall in for a base hit. 2 more runs in for the Royals, and they take advantage of an error just like the Patriots did in the last half inning and get a couple of unearned runs with 2 outs on a single down the right field line, a blooper from Tanner Jacobson. 3 runs batted in for Jacobson. Now in the evening, and his 3rd hit of the night, it's 9-4. Royals in front. And now Brassington. Brassington, an RBI double and an RBI single in his last 2 trips, I should say. 1 run scored, 2 for 3 in total. Good spot there from Specht for a called strike. So it's now 4 innings in a row that Queens has dented the scoreboard. This one's a line into right field. Hinnant not going to get to this one either. Another hit for the Royals with 2 outs. A slight bobble by Hinnant. They're going to try to score a run here, and they will as the throw comes into the center of the diamond. An RBI double for Brassington, his 3rd consecutive at bat with a run-scoring hit. And it is the 3rd time in the last 4 innings that Queens has put 3 across the board. It is back to a 6-run margin at 10-4, and Alex Griffith is jogging out to the base of the mound to meet with the 6'5" right-hander Specht. C.J. Hammond's due up for the Royals. He's 1 for 3 to this point. Singled, stole a base, but was stranded at third back in the 2nd, and has grounded out and struck out in his last 2 trips. Specht with a firm fastball for a called strike. The umpire looked like he was at least thinking about calling it a strike, but apparently decided that it wasn't in the zone. A ball and a strike on C.J. Hammonds. 8 out of the 9 Royals have at least 1 hit. Chase Hager, the 9-hole hitter, is the one without at least 1 hit for the visitors so far tonight. 5 have multiple hits for Queens, including Tanner Jacobson and Nick Brassington with 3 apiece. Each of them have also driven in 3 runs. Fouled back to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So again, Specht is a strike away from getting out of the inning. Three 2-out unearned runs, just like the Patriots had on the bottom of the 5th for Queens here in the top of the 6th, to push it back to a 6-run lead. Good breaking ball there from Specht, and he gets Hammonds looking. 2nd time that Hammonds has struck out in this game. 2nd strikeout of the inning for Specht. And it comes to an end, but it is now 10-4 Queens as they get the 3 runs right back at the top of the 6th. Bottom half coming up on the Patriot Sports Network. Michael Kakos takes a strike. As the bottom of the sixth inning commences, Kakos, Wakefield, Mackinson against West Bowling. As the Royals are once again working with a 6-run lead after 3 runs in the top of this frame. Junior Ryan Dudney taking over behind the plate for Anthony Orta as Keiko swings and misses, but he takes off as the pitch is in the dirt, but a good job by Dudney quickly hopping on it. He throws down to complete the strikeout. So first strikeout for Bowling as the leadoff man is retired in the Patriots' 6th. Now Wakefield at the plate. Wakefield has driven in a run with a fielder's choice and walked so far this evening. 0 for 1 officially. Fouls this one away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. FMU getting ready to hit the road again this weekend up to North Carolina to face the UNCP Braves. Just getting a piece of it is Wakefield. Right now, FMU 7th in the conference. UNCP is 9th. So just on the outside looking in, but they are the highest scoring team in the conference. They're always dangerous. Patriots will be looking to get a big road series win to improve their standing with only 3 conference series remaining. They have this weekend at UNC Pembroke, then they have Columbus State at home here next weekend, and then Easter weekend. They are at Georgia Southwestern for their final series of the regular season. Bouncer to the left side. Nice play by Sexton, the third baseman, 2 away. Mackinson reaching on a fielder's choice. His most recent time up and came around to score one of the 3 2-out runs for the Patriots last half inning. Scored on the Gage Taylor 2-run single. Bowling looking for the third 1-2-3 inning in the last 4 for Queens. They sit down the side in order in both the 3rd and 4th innings defensively. He is the 3rd pitcher used tonight by the Royals. The Patriots have used 4. It was Dix for the first 3 innings, then Berggren for an inning and 2/3. Bowling so far with an inning under his belt. Strike away from dealing a 1-2-3 6th for the visitors. Ahead of Mackinson here, 1-2. Bounces up. Brian Kahn next, should the inning continue for FMU. Slow bouncer back up the middle, and it goes right under the glove of the shortstop, Melton. And Mackinson is aboard on an error by the Queens shortstop. Second error for the Royals. They have now made one in each of the last 2 innings defensively, and see if FMU can once again take advantage of a 2-out error. It led to 3 runs coming in last inning after a throwing error was made on an attempted fielder's choice. Kahn takes a strike. Kahn is 0 for 2 so far, a strikeout and a flyout in his first 2 trips. And Bowling quickly gets ahead of him, 0-2. A little bit outside. Dudney looked like he was attempting to frame it up, but then dropped it, and that prevented potential frame job. This one is lined past the diving third baseman Sexton, and it goes down the left field line. Mackinson headed for third. Kahn on his way to second, and he is in there with a head first dive. A double for Brian Kahn, his first hit of the night. First extra base hit for Francis Marion this evening, and now two runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Will Hardy to the plate now as the lineup card turns back to the top. Hardy 0 for 2, did walk last time up and scored last inning. See if Hardy now can come up with a big 2-out knock to help the Patriots cut into this 6-run deficit, and a balk has been called. That's the second balk of the evening. Patriots were guilty of one earlier, and now bowling is the guilty party for Queens, and so the Patriots do get a run back with Hardy not having to swing yet. It's now 10-5, and Kahn is 90 feet away from making it a 4-run game. First pitch to Hardy was a strike. Second one on the way. Bounces it back out towards short. Another bobble, and the throw is going to be late. In to score comes Kahn. Second error of the inning for Melton. So 10-6. So the Patriots getting some help from the Queens defense to get back into this one again. 3 unearned runs with 2 outs in the 5th, and so far 2 unearned runs with 2 outs here in the 6th. And now Hinnant with Hardy at first and 2 down in a 4-run game. Bowling delivers a strike. Called strike. Queens committed 8 errors in the 16-3 FMU win back on February 27th. And will their defense be their undoing again here tonight? That one's just going to die in shallow center field. Base hit for Cole Hinnant. Off the bat, it looked like it was going to be a relatively routine fly ball for the center fielder Hammonds, and then it just almost like it was shot down. Just dropped well short of where I think pretty much everyone thought it was going to end up. Hammonds tried to deke like he was going to catch it, but he didn't get anywhere near it. So Hinnant has his first hit of the night. And the Patriots have 2 on with 2 outs for Gage Taylor. Hardy at second. And Hinnant at first. So far, 2 runs in for the Patriots in the inning. Taylor, a big 2-run single with the bases loaded and 2 outs last inning. And he came up with a big 2-out knock again here. Swings and misses, but it gets away from the catcher Dudney, and both runners will move up on the wild pitch. So Hardy to third. Now Hinnant in scoring position at well, out at second. And a base hit from Taylor here likely cuts this to a 2-run Queens advantage. Action beginning again in the Queens bullpen down the left field line. Line drive caught by the first baseman Jones. Just above the dirt over there at first base. Another good swing by Taylor, this time not rewarded. The Patriots will have to settle for 2, and they trail 10-6 as we go to the 7th on the Patriot Sports Network. Colby Lee will become the 5th pitcher of the evening for Francis Marion. 10-6 Queens, top of the 7th. Lee, a 6'2 junior right-hander out of Lattice, South Carolina, was the starter for FMU in their midweek game last week. Here against Limestone, went 3 innings. This is his first appearance since then. Did not pitch over the weekend at North Georgia. He'll be facing Sexton, Hager, and Ford, 8-9-1 in the Queens lineup. Here in the 7th inning. Lee fires. Outside a ball and a strike. So far in this one, Sexton is 2 for 3, double and a single, 1 run scored, and 1 run batted in. Lee, the transfer from the University of South Carolina, just misses with his 3-0. And it's a 4-pitch walk to begin the 7th for Sexton. Lee making his 9th appearance, 9.75 ERA. He has struck out 18 and walked 11 in 12 innings, 16 hits allowed, 19 runs, 13 of them earned. 302 opponent average. Chase Hager, the only Royal without a hit in his first 3 at-bats. 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a couple of flyouts. Each of the other Queens starters has at least one, as Lee just misses again. Elsewhere in Patriot Athletics, mentioned earlier the postponement of the softball doubleheader up in North Carolina against UNCP earlier. Earlier today, the golf team finished up the final round of the Wofford Invitational, finishing 13th. A lineup that featured 4 freshmen and a sophomore. They were led by freshman Grant Sellers. He shot 1 over 73 today to finish in a tie for 22nd in the player standings. Popped up. Foul ground, first base side. Pappas coming over, and he will make the catch. So Hager still with an offer next to his name, as staying put is Sexton at first with 1 out. Freshman Granger Howell, also a good outing this week for FMU on the golf side of things. Finished in a tie for 36th place. Shot 1 under 71 in the second round yesterday, the best round by an FMU golfer during this week's tournament, and led the team with 9 birdies. Just 1 tournament left for the golf team. April the 15th, playing in the Southern Intercollegiate Tournament hosted by the University of Georgia in Athens. So they will wrap up their season there, but good to see a couple of local products in Howell from Darlington and Sellers from McBee, South Carolina, doing well in their freshman seasons to help the golf team. And the tennis teams will be back in Peach Belt Conference action tomorrow against the University of North Georgia, 2 o'clock for the start of that. That was originally scheduled to be played on Sunday, but Mother Nature intervened, pushing it to tomorrow. Should be a pretty nice day for it. As down on strikes goes Dominic Ford. First strikeout for Colby Lee, second out of this 7th inning. With 2 away, Noah Jones to the plate, 2 for 3 plus a walk with 2 runs scored. So Lee trying to work around his 2-out walk to keep the Patriot deficit at 4 heading into the bottom of the 7th inning. Misses low to Jones. Jones reached 3 times in 4 trips the first time these two teams met, and is at that point right now tonight with his 2 hits and a walk in 4 plate appearances. One time he didn't reach, he was struck out by Christian Umflett back in the 4th. Lee's 1-0. Blew it by him. Lee did not face the Royals first time around between these two. Works out of the stretch from the first base side. And again, throws it by Jones, who had a healthy cut but came up empty. A ball and 2 strikes on Noah Jones, the first baseman for Queens. Freshman out of Chapel Hill, transfer from UNC Charlotte. Not a whole lot of miles for that transfer. 1-2, runner goes. Chopper right through the hole on the right side. Perfect hit and run executed by the Royals there. As going all the way from first to third with ease is Sexton on the single by Jones, his 3rd hit of the night. Now Ryan Dudney, the catcher, will get his first at-bat. He came in defensively for Anthony Orta last half inning in the 6th. So he gets his first at-bat of the night here. He's hitting .257 on the season with 3 homers and 8 runs batted in. 27th game that he has appeared in for Queens this year. Dudney, the junior out of Whiteville, North Carolina. Lee misses with his first a little bit low. Orta, while he was in the game, went 1 for 3 plus a walk with a run scored. Dudney was one of 2 Royals to homer back in February in that game. He was 1 for 2. Patriots winning that one 16-3, largely thanks to that 10-run first inning they had that evening. No 10-run innings tonight. Although there have been 4 innings in which 3 runs have been scored. Now 3-0 on Dudney, with Melton winning in the on-deck circle. The leader in runs batted in for Queens with 22, including his 1 tonight. Another 4-pitch walk from Colby Lee, second walk of the inning for the junior righty, and it loads up the bases for Melton with 2 outs. Lee walked the leadoff hitter, got a foul out and a strikeout. And then on what might have been a playable ground ball, the right side went through because the runner was sent. And where Brian Kahn had been playing on the right side was vacated as he broke for the bag to cover it with the runner going. That allowed Jones to pick up his 3rd hit of the night. And now a walk to Dudney loads him up for Melton. Lee gets ahead with his first. It is Sexton at 3rd, Jones at 2nd, and Dudney at 1st for Queens. This one is flown foul down the right field line. Will Pappas have room? Not quite. Just out of his reach. And then it hops over the fence for strike 2. Pappas a little bit disappointed in himself there, but not the easiest play. He had a long way to go into foul territory on the first base side. So still alive at the plate is Melton. Lee is ahead 0-2. Trying to strand the bases loaded and keep the Patriots within 4. They're blocked by Griffith. He's been called into action, blocking balls into the plate a lot tonight. And he has done a good job of it. Swing and a miss. Griffith will just step on the plate to complete the out after the pitch bounce, but it's an inning-ending strikeout for Lee, his second strikeout of the inning, and the Royals will leave the bases loaded as for the first time in 4 innings, Queens does not score. It's 10-6. The Royals still lead, though, as we go to the 7th inning stretch on the Patriots Sports Network. Nick Pappas, Alex Griffith, and Michael Kakos, the middle third of the order, due out for the Patriots here in the bottom of the 7th. Job by Colby Lee to strand the bases loaded on the top of this inning to keep Queens off the board. They still lead 10-6 as Pappas takes a strike from the new Royals pitcher, his right-hander Jake Mishna, 6'3" freshman of Haymarket, Virginia. A couple of scoreless innings against Lincoln Memorial on March 23rd in his most recent outing. This is his 8th appearance, 8.18 ERA. He's allowed 14 hits and 14 runs, 10 of them earned in 11 innings. Gets Pappas to swing and miss to get ahead of 1-2. 13 strikeouts to 5 walks. Opponents are hitting .286 against Mishna. RBI single for Pappas his last time up. He's 1 for 3 tonight. And he rips this one down the right field line. Leadoff hit for Pappas as he takes a wide turn at first, but he will hold a leadoff single. So Nick Pappas aboard to start the inning for FMU. His second hit of the night. He and Gage Taylor, who came in with the longest current hitting streaks by FMU, have both extended them to 6. Brings up Alex Griffith, the senior catcher. For Pappas, it is his 9th extra base, or 9th multi-hit game, I should say, of the season. As Griffith takes a strike, he has flown to center twice and been hit by a pitch. He came back in the second inning. They run a score on a Wakefield Fielder's choice to give FMU a 1-0 lead. But they have trailed since the next half inning when Queens scored 3. Line drive speared by Sexton to third, throws to first, and Pappas just dives back in there safely. Looked like it was going to be back-to-back sharp singles to start the inning, but Sexton climbed the ladder and took one away from Griffith. A 1 on, 1 out for Kakos, who will now be lifted for a pinch hitter. So Brett Kemp will pinch hit here with 1 on and 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Freshman from Wilmington, North Carolina, with Pappas aboard. And he is hit by the pitch. So that plate appearance did not last long for Kemp, but he'll take it as he reaches. Pappas will move on over to second. And now 2 on with 1 out for Tanner Wakefield. Or maybe not Tanner Wakefield. It'll be another pinch hitter, Peyton Creech. Creech, the sophomore out of Zebulon, North Carolina. So he will pinch hit here for Tanner Wakefield, who went 0 for 2 with an RBI and a walk. Creech 0 for 5 as a pinch hitter. What a better, or no better time to pick up your first hit as a pinch hitter this season than with 2 on, 1 out in a game where your team is trailing by 4. First, he'll get ahead on the count by taking one a little high. Pappas at second and Kemp at first. Here's the 1-0. Creech shows bunt, pulls it back, 2-0. FMU, each of the last 2 innings, has taken advantage of some Queens errors to score 2 out runs, 3 in the 5th and then 2 more in the 6th. And here it's been a single and a hit batter to put 2 on with 1 out. Now Creech way ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. Mackinson waiting on deck. Mishna fires. Creech was taking, and it's ball 4. So both pinch hitters do not even have to lift the bat off their shoulders to reach, as Kemp was hit by the first pitch and Creech walked on 4 straight. And the bases are loaded with 1 out for Mackinson, who's now the tying run at the plate here in the bottom of the 7th. Mackinson reached on an error last inning, reached on a fielder's choice the inning before that, and he scored in each of those frames. Got Pappas at third, Kemp at second, Creech at first. Ball 1 from Mishna. Missed with the last 6 in a row, going back to when he hit Kemp. And the only out he got this inning was a ball that was scalded by Griffith, but caught by his third baseman, Sexton. 1-0. Strike to Mackinson. Mentioned it a couple of times. The Patriots have already tied the Peach Belt Conference record for most Grand Slams in a season with 6, tying Young Harris's 6 from last year. Be a perfect time for it right here. Mackinson fouls it down the left field line. Mackinson has homered twice at this ballpark this season. It was in the same game against Chowan just under a month ago. Those represent the lone 2 homers so far of his senior season. Flies this one out into shallow center field, long run, and it falls in. The second baseman, Ford, almost made a ridiculous catch, as neither the center fielder, Hammonds, or the right fielder, Brassington, got anywhere near it. It's the toughest play for the retreating infielder, and he almost got to it, but it fell in. A bloop RBI single by Mackinson gets the Patriots within 3, and the tying runs are on now. Bases still loaded with 1 out for Brian Kahn. Way outside from Mishna. There is more right-handed action in the Royals' pen. And here comes the head coach, Jack McDowell, to have a chat here. We'll see if he's bringing the hook with him after that first pitch. Ball to Kahn. And in fact, he is. While the Royals make the change, we will step aside here on the Patriot Sports Network. Six-one freshman Daniel Bagwell out of Kings Mountain, North Carolina, takes over here with a 1-0 count on Brian Kahn. Patriots within 3, 10-7, into the bases loaded with 1 out. Bagwell facing Brian Kahn. And he hits him. First pitch from Bagwell, and that will allow Kemp to score. It's the second hit batter of the inning, as Michna hit one. Now the Patriots are within 2 at 10-8, and the tying runs are in scoring position. It is Creech at third, Mackinson at second, and Kahn aboard at first base. After Kahn just picked up his first RBI as a Patriot, and he did it the painful way. I'm sure that's not how he pictured getting his first RBI here at FMU, but he'll take it all the same. 1-0 from Bagwell to Will Hardy. Make it 2-0 now on the leadoff hitting left fielder. 0 for 3 officially for Hardy. Did walk earlier in the contest and score a run. Reached on an error last time up. Might tie it up here with the base hit. Takes a strike, 2-1. Bagwell making his 11th appearance, tied with Lee Harrison for the most on this Royal staff. 4.66 season ERA for Bagwell. This one is driven into left field. Backing up on it, making the catch is Hager. Creech tags from third. He will score standing up. The other runners will hold. as the throw came in to the left side of the diamond, but a productive out there for Will Hardy as he drives in a run. FMU now within one at 10-9. And 2 on with 2 out for Hinnant. 23rd RBI of the season for Hardy. So Mackinson at second. He's the tying run. The go-ahead run, Brian Kahn at first with 2 down for Hinnant. Good sliding block there by the backstop, Dudney. The 3 runs that have scored all belong to Mishna, who started the inning. He's also responsible for Mackinson at second. Bender for a strike there from Bagwell. Kahn over at first is his responsibility, hitting him with his first pitch. One to Hinnant. Fouls it off. Patriots were down 7-1 going into the bottom of the 5th, scored 3 runs. Queens answered with 3 right back in the top of the 6th to go ahead by 6-10-4. And then FMU has crawled within 1 with 2 in the 6th and 3 so far here in the 7th. Tying run at second base in the form of C.J. Mackinson. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Hinnant with 2 outs, and number 22 at the plate. And number 2 on the mound. Inside, full count. Runners will get a head start out there on the base path. So a base hit almost definitely scores Mackinson from second. It would probably have to be an infield single to keep him from scoring. Kahn maybe scores on a gapper to give FMU the lead. Check swing. Appeal, no swing. And Hinnant draws a walk. Taylor, the 9th man to bat in the inning for FMU. Bases reloaded for the senior center fielder who has a pair of grand slams already this season. Tying run now just 90 feet away. Go ahead run into scoring position now as well. Good speed on the base paths for FMU. Taylor has hit the ball hard his last 2 times. A 2-run single with the bases loaded to get a couple of runs in the 5th. And then a line out that was caught by the first baseman Jones and last inning. Taylor 3 for 11 with the bases loaded this season. And the head in the count here, 2 balls and no strikes. Queens with still a healthy lead in the hit column, 16-7, but the Patriots have taken advantage of some errors and some free passes, either hit batters or walks, to crawl their way back in it. Chopper foul toward Patriot assistant and first base coach Kyle Gallman. Two balls and a strike on Taylor. Fouled away again. 2-2. Royals clinging to this lead by the skin of their teeth right now, having had 2 separate 6-run cushions. Seen it dwindle all the way to 1 with the bases loaded for the Patriots. Pitch from Bagwell. Ground ball back up the middle. Second baseman Ford has it off balance, throws in time, and Taylor is out. So are the Patriots. So FMU will leave them loaded, but they do get 3. They're within 1, 10-9. We're headed for the 8th on the Patriot Sports Network. Patriots back within one as we go to the eighth inning, 10-9. Colby Lee tasked with keeping the margin at just the single run as he comes back out for his second inning of relief work. He'll face Jacobson, Brassington, and Hammonds, 5, 6, and 7 in the Queens lineup. Jacobson and Brassington with 3 hits apiece, combining for 6 of the 16 hits for Queens through the first 7 innings of the night. Patriots have 7. Jacobson, 2 doubles and a single, 3 for 4. He has driven in 3 and scored 3 times. Lee fires in a strike. Jacobson, freshman out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, came in hitting .290 for the season. Lee misses outside. Is a right-hander throwing in the FMU bullpen, so it could be a short leash for Lee in his second inning of work tonight if, in fact, he does run into some trouble in this eighth inning. Patriots trying to stay within a run, having cut the deficit from what was once a 6-run game. They were down 7-1, and then later 10-4. Lee's 3-1 is low. The leadoff walk issued by Lee for the second straight inning. Third walk issued by the junior right-hander so far tonight. And that'll bring up Nick Brassington, the right fielder. Brassington, freshman from Raleigh. As I mentioned, he also has 3 hits, 2 doubles and a single. He has driven and run in each of his last 3 at-bats and also scored once tonight. 3 for 4 officially. I went down and away. Griffith might have gotten his glove to it just barely, but it doesn't keep it from going to the backstop. A wild pitch for Lee, puts Jacobson into scoring position. Down to second he goes. Good pitch there from Lee. Breaking ball in there for a strike on Brassington. Brassington now with 8 runs batted in for the season with his 3 tonight. Time called by the Royals right fielder at the plate. Lee glances back at the runner and fires. And just misses. Two one. Up and in, and it hits him. Brassington ducked, but it didn't get completely out of the way. And the first 2 Royals are on here in the 8th. And that is going to, I believe, lead to a pitching change. And it is, as head coach Art Abbott points down toward the bullpen. He will take the baseball away from Lee. And FMU will go back to the pens, trying to keep it within 1 in the 8th inning. While the Patriots make this change, we'll step aside for a moment here on the Patriot Sports Network. 6'3" junior right-hander Austin Moody out of Dillon, South Carolina, takes over here. 2 on, nobody out in the Queens half of the 8th. They lead FMU by 1. A walk and a hit batter to start this inning, though, has the Royals threatening to extend the lead back out. Moody helped the Patriots get out of a big spot similar to this over the weekend in Sunday's victory over North Georgia. That one is up and in. The runners were going, and Griffith hangs onto it after bluffing a throw. Wadsworth didn't go to the base, and I don't think either the shortstop or the second baseman went either. Oh, that's right. Wadsworth was coming in to cover the bunt. That's why he didn't cover. And so the Patriot defense was a little bit misaligned, expecting the bunt, and so the double steal for Queens has second and third with nobody out. And now the Patriots, they did bring the infield in, and now they're backing them up again. Hammond's at the plate is 1 for 4. He swings and misses. Good pitch there by Moody. Transfer from Florence Darlington Tech. 12 relief outings last year for the Stingers. 2.77 ERA. Also appeared in 9 games for the 2017 team that made the NJCAA World Series. 1-1. Just off the plate. Moody making his 10th appearance of the season, a 3.86 ERA. 6 runs allowed, 4 of them earned, and 6 hits in 9 1/3 innings. 5 walks, 10 strikeouts. Picked up his first save on Sunday in the win over North Georgia. This one's flown out into right. Back and toward the line is Hinnant, makes the catch. Both runners will tag. And the runner from second is going to try to score all the way from second, and he will as the throw from Hinnant missed the cutoff man. It'll be an error on the Patriots' right fielder, so it'll be a sacrifice fly for Hammond that allows Jacobson to score. And then in to score on the throwing error by Hinnant is Brassington. So the Royals now up 12-9. Both of those runs charged to Colby Lee. The second one is unearned for the moment. Could change depending on how the rest of the inning plays out as Sexton digs in now for Queens. A couple of big runs from the Royals' perspective, as FMU has scored 5 in a row to get a 6-run lead down to just 1. Now they have a little bit more breathing space at a 3-run margin. Patriots will have the middle third of their lineup due up when we get to the bottom of the 8th inning, having batted around and scored 3 runs last inning, but they did leave them loaded. In fact, both teams left the bases loaded in the 7th inning. Awkward cut, and down swinging goes Sexton. Just kind of a 2/3, 3/4 chop at it. Kind of a, I think that was a, oh no, I should swing at the last moment. He's down on strikes. Second out of the inning, first strikeout for Moody since coming on. It's 11 strikeouts now for Patriot pitching this evening as they continue their habit of striking out more than a batter per inning, as hit by the pitch is Hager. The last thing you want when you're down by 3 is to hit the 9-hole hitter who's 0 for 4 tonight. And now it's back to the top of the order and Dominic Ford. Ford is 2 for 5, a couple of singles, 1 run batted in. He has scored twice. Ford, a sophomore out of Raleigh. Rolls this one to the right side. Brian Kahn gobbles it up. And the inning is over, but not before the Royals get a couple insurance runs. They lead at 12-9 after 7.5 on the Patriot Sports Network. Nick Pappas leads off for FMU in the bottom of the 8th. Takes a strike. He led off last inning with a single. Came around to score one of the 3 Patriot runs as they closed the gap at that point to 10-9. But 2 runs in the top of this inning by Queens have pushed their margin to 3 now. Pappas, Griffith, and then Kemp due up. As Kemp pinch hit for Keiko's last time through and was hit by a pitch. See if he does again hit in that spot or if Patriots have something else in mind. And Pappas called out on strikes. A 3-pitch strikeout for Bagwell to start the inning. 1 away for Griffith. First strikeout for Bagwell. 6 strikeouts now for the Royals staff this evening. Griffith is 0 for 3, was hit by a pitch and scored back in the second. Last time up, hit the ball hard as well. He was just robbed by the third baseman Sexton, who made a nice sleeping grab on his liner. Bagwell deals. Misses downstairs. Kemp has moved into the on-deck circle. Looks like he'll get a second crack after replacing Keikos. Keikos went 1 for 3 before he was pinch hit for by Kemp last inning. 2-0 to Griffith. Right through the heart of the plate. Strike from Bagwell. More action in the FMU bullpen after Austin Moody closed the top of this inning. Breaking ball strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Griffith. The Patriots senior catcher, transfer from the University of Pittsburgh, native of Bristol, Virginia. Chopper to the left side. Deep in the hole at short. Long throw. Melton, and it's low and errant. Griffith looked like he briefly thought about trying to go to second, but he will head back to first. It's a throwing error for the shortstop, Melton. Fourth error of the night for Queens. And the third made by the shortstop. 1 on, 1 out. Now, Brett Kemp, who was hit by a pitch while pinch hitting for Keiko's last inning, came around to score. Lifts this one out to shallow left. Coming in to make the play is Hager for out number 2. Retreating is Griffith, and that'll bring up Fred Wadsworth. Wadsworth getting his first at-bat of the evening. Peyton Creech pinch hit for Tanner Wakefield in this spot last inning. Then Wadsworth came on in the top of this inning to take over at third base for Wakefield, as Creech is an outfielder by trade. Patriots once again trying to take advantage of an error. That's how Griffith reached with 1 out in this inning, still there with 2 away. Way upstairs. Wadsworth 5 for 35, his first season as a Patriot, 5 runs batted in. 4 of them came in the same contest, a win over Lander a little bit more than a week ago, the most recent home series for the Patriots on Sunday, the 24th of March against the Lander Bearcats. Bagwell rips in the strike. It's drilled out into left center field, ranging over and back, and unable to make a leaping catch is Hammonds. Wadsworth is on his way to third. He will stop there as Griffith is in to score. Looked like he just misjudged it, Hammonds, as Fred Wadsworth comes through with a big 2-out RBI triple. So the Patriots do once again take advantage of an error as Griffith scores after reaching on an error. It's 12-10, and Mackinson the tying run at the plate with 2 down, and Wadsworth 90 feet away from making this a 1-run game again. Mackinson takes a strike. Mackinson, a bloop RBI single his last time up. He's 1 for 4. He has scored a couple of times. Gets ahead in the count here, 2 balls and a strike. Wadsworth just picking up his 6th RBI of the season. 2-2 now on Mackinson. Both teams have had a stretch in this game of scoring at least 1 run in 4 consecutive innings now that FMU has scored here in the bottom of the 8th. Slow tapper up the third base side. It'll go foul where Dudney picks it up. Still 2-2 on Mackinson. Brian Kahn on deck. Should Mackinson keep the 8th inning going? Cut on and missed, and Bagwell picks up his 2nd strikeout, and the Patriots will leave a runner in scoring position. They do get a run back from a trail 12-10 as we go to the 9th on the Patriot Sports Network. We go to the ninth. New pitcher for Francis Marion is 6-foot right-hander Morgan Morris out of Manning, South Carolina. Morgan making his collegiate debut, part of the JV program for Francis Marion. His first year of JV baseball here at FMU, and now getting an opportunity to pitch under the bright lights here for the varsity squad. He'll be facing Noah Jones, Ryan Dudney, and Nick Melton, 2, 3, and 4 for Queens here in the ninth inning, trying to keep the Queens lead at just 2, 12-10. First pitch is fouled straight back. Jones so far has been on 4 times in 5 trips, 3 singles and a walk, 2 runs scored. For Jones, came in hitting .417, third highest average in the South Atlantic Conference at the start of tonight's action. Popped out into shallow right, and Kahn is able to go out and make the catch. So a good start for Morris as he gets a lazy little pop-up to open up the inning. Retire Jones, who had been a real struggle for Francis Marion to get out, at least to that point in the evening. Now Dudney, he walked his first trip, came in defensively for Orta, the starting catcher, in the bottom of the 6th. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th, the Patriots will have Kahn, Hardy, and Hinnant 9-1 and 2 due up. And they hope they will only be facing a 2-run deficit. Fouled back. 1 ball and 1 strike on Dudney. Came into today hitting .257. Morgan Morris, the 7th pitcher used by Francis Marion tonight. They started with Weston Rogers. Another foul. Noah Davis, Christian Umflett, Warren Specht, Colby Lee, and Austin Moody have all pitched at least an inning so far tonight. And now Morris here in the 9th, trying to keep it at 12-10. Breaking ball got away from him, and it hits Dudney. 1 out base runner for Queens here in the 9th inning as we have yet another hit batter. Swinging a miss by Melton. Nick Melton so far is 1 for 5. Singled back in the 5th inning. Drove in a run with a ground out in the 3rd. The other 3 times he's come up to the plate, he has struck out against 3 different Patriot hurlers. Sliding stop there by Griffith. So far, FMU has recorded 11 strikeouts. A little bit low. 2 balls and a strike on Melton. Team leader in runs batted in for Queens with 22, including his 3rd inning RBI groundout. Runner takes off from first, pitches low, and Griffith could not cleanly complete the transfer from the glove hand to the throwing hand, so it'll be a stolen base with ease for Dudney there. He's now 7 for 7 stealing bags this year. Morris with a 3-1. Driven out into right center. Both Hinnant and Taylor tracking it. It'll be Hinnant to make the catch. Runner from second tags. Goes about 10 feet and stops. And good thing he did because Hinnant threw a one-hop strike to Wadsworth over at third. So good throw there by Hinnant. Keeps the runner from advancing to third. But he's still in scoring position with 2 outs for the designated hitter, Tanner Jacobson. Jacobson has been on in each of his last 4 trips to the plate after striking out to end the first. 3 for 4 officially. Chops this one to the left side. Good scoop by Wadsworth. Throws low, dugout by Pappas. Good play at both corners, and Morgan Morris works around a hit batter to keep the game 12-10. So nice job by Morris in his Patriot debut. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Last chance for FMU, trailing 12-10 on the Patriot Sports Network. Brian Kahn will lead off for FMU in the bottom of the ninth inning. They'll be facing a new pitcher for Queens. Southpaw Alec Hunter, a freshman out of Lexington, North Carolina. Checks in, try to get the final 3 outs and earn a save for Queens and get them to 10 wins on the season. FMU has other ideas as Kahn takes a strike. He'll be followed by Hardy and Hinnant in the inning, 9-1 and 2. Hunter, a 5.48 ERA, 8 appearances, 2 starts on the year, 0-1 overall record. He's allowed 17 hits and 21 runs, 13 earned runs, and 21 and a third, 18 walks, 26 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .207. Ground ball to the right side. Ford makes the play, 1 away. Hardy with a sacrifice fly and an RBI, his most recent trip to the plate. This will be his 6th plate appearance of the night. He's 1 for 4, or rather 0 for 3, I should say, officially, with a walk in there. 1 run scored, 1 run batted in. And 1-1 count on the leadoff hitter right here in Florence. Hunter working very quickly. Gets the ball and is right back ready to go. And he evens the count at 2-2 on Hardy. Hunter worked 2/3 of an inning in the first meeting, giving up 1 hit, walking 1, and striking out 1. It's a full count now on Hardy. Hardy walked while facing Hunter in the first meeting, and he walks again. So Will Hardy walks for the second time tonight. 1 out base runner for Hinnant, who now represents the tying run at the plate. Hinnant 1 for 3 officially. He's been on 3 times. He's been hit by a pitch once. He's walked once, and he has a single. And he takes a strike from Hunter. The 3 Patriots that Hunter faced were Hardy, Mackinson, and Winterstein. This is a slow chopper out towards short. Melton looks to second, and he sails it over the head of the second baseman Ford. Hardy will get up and go to third on the throwing error by the shortstop, Melton. Five errors now for Queens, 7 total tonight. Tying runs are on. 1 out, Gage Taylor at the plate. So Cole Hinnant is now the tying run at the plate, or at first base rather, and Taylor the potential winning run at the plate. Patriot leader in runs batted in. A 2-run single tonight. Now has him at 37 RBIs for the season. And he takes one on the outer edge. 12 runs, 16 hits, 5 errors for Queens. 10 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for Francis Marion, as Hunter will take a timeout to relace his white cleats. Taylor is 1 for 5 with a 2-run single in the 5th. And at the time made it 7-3. Taylor slowly rolls one to third. Sexton will try to go to first and just barely gets Taylor. That slow roller, and with the speed of Taylor, almost beat it out. He does get an RBI as Hardy comes in to score. And now Nick Pappas with the tying run in the form of Cole Hinnant out at second and 2 down in a 12-11 game here in the bottom of the 9th. So Nick Pappas, who has 2 hits so far today, both singles. RBI single in the 5th, singled and then scored in the 7th. Takes one down in the dirt. Patriots have now scored at least 5 innings in a row, but they need 1 more to send it to extras. 2 would give them a win. 1-1 now on Pappas. Strike at the knees, and FMU down to their last strike now. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 down. Hitting at second, 12-11. The score. Hunter deals. Rifled foul down the right field line. Off the bat of Pappas there. He jumped all over that pitch, but couldn't keep it fair. He is 15 out of 38, a .395 average, with runners in scoring position this season, and .353 with 2 outs this season. So Pappas has come through numerous times with big 2-out hits, including back in the 5th inning with an RBI single with 2 outs. That one is going to get away from the catcher Dudney, and Hinnant will go to third. A wild pitch, and Hinnant is 90 feet closer to tying it up. Another one of those, and it will be tied up. 2-2 on Pappas with 2 down. Hunter fires. Ground ball over to first. It jumps up over the first baseman, Jones, and down the right field line. That took a wicked hop from Jones. I'm not sure if it hit first base. It was very near first base. But in to score the tying run is Cole Hinnant. And it is 12-12. No better than when we started 3 hours and 25 minutes ago. Pappas now the potential winning run at first with 2 outs for Alex Griffith. Griffith takes a strike. Second RBI of the night for Nick Pappas. Griffith comes up empty with the swing, 0-2. So the Patriots have come back from what was at 2 different points in the evening a 6-run deficit at 7-1 and 10-4. Called third on the inside part of the plate. Griffith strikes out, and we are headed for some free baseball here on Cornmeal Field at Sparrow Stadium. 12-12 as we go to the 10th on the Patriot Sports Network. (12-12), 10th inning here in Florence. Morgan Morris back out for another inning of work for Francis Marion. Did the job keeping it a 2-run game in the top of the 9th, and the Patriots were able to respond and get 2 in the bottom of the 9th to tie it up. Nick Brassington leads things off for the Royals. Morris drops into strike, 0-1. FMU 2-1 in extra inning games this season. And in extra innings for the second straight game as this one jumps up off the glove of Fred Wadsworth and into left field. On his way to second is Brassington. He will beat the throw. So a double for Brassington, his 4th hit and 3rd double of the night. And immediately Queens gets a runner into scoring position. It is their 17th hit of the evening. And Patriot head coach Art Abenett is out to the mound. And FMU is going back to the bullpen. Well, the Patriots make this change, we'll step aside for a moment on the Patriot Sports Network. Senior Evan Flynn has been the Friday night starter, or Saturday, depending on if games get moved to Saturday due to Mother Nature. Comes on for his first relief appearance of the season for FMU here with a runner at second and nobody out in the top of the 10th of a 12-12 game. Evan, the senior, out of Lancaster, South Carolina. He's 4-1 with a 4.87 ERA through 9 starts. 41 strikeouts, 26 walks, and 44 in the third, and he will be facing a pinch hitter. C.J. Hammonds ends his night 1 for 4 with an RBI. Griffin Hughes is the pinch hitter. Got a run at second with nobody out. Hughes, 267 average. 10th game that he has appeared in. Flynn's first on the way. Showed bunt, pulled it back. Hughes, a freshman out of Loveland, Ohio. Flynn in his most recent start for FMU at North Georgia on Saturday went 5 1/3. Gave up 2 runs on just 3 hits. Struck out 6. There's a bunt to the third base side. Flynn has it. Fires to first where Kahn, the second baseman, was covering. So the sacrifice works for Hughes. And Brassington at third with 1 away. And Alex Sexton will have a chance to give the Royals the lead back. They have had 2 different 6-run leads, 7-1 and 10-4. FMU did briefly lead 1-0 after 2 innings, but Queens scored 3 in the top of the second and had led ever since until FMU tied it up with those 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth. Infield in on the right side, in a couple of steps on the left side. Wadsworth is about even with the base at third, and Mackinson about the same level over at short. Sweeping breaking ball for a strike from Flynn to get ahead of Sexton, 0-1. Sexton's been on 3 times, 2 for 4 plus a walk. Runs scored and an RBI. With a runner at third, Flynn can work out of the line, which he chooses to do. and throws one wildly, and that's going to get to the backstop and allow the runner to score. A wild pitch gets Brassington in to score, and Queens regains the lead at 13-12. Wondering if maybe Flynn was a little bit distracted by the runner, Brassington, there. So once he started his windup, Brassington took a few hard steps toward the plate as if he was just going to try and steal home. And Flynn didn't quite stop, but he really slowed down his motion. And I'm wondering if that maybe had an effect on that pitch. But Queens does have the lead back as he ties Sexton up with a pitch on the inner part of the plate. Strike two. So 13-12 Queens. You're in the top of the 10th. Base is empty with one out now. Sweeping breaking ball again, and it's swung on and missed. A strikeout for Evan Flynn. Now Hager, 0 for 4. Also been hit by a pitch. That Flynn strikeout was the 12th of the night for the FMU staff. That was sent into the stands, bangs off an empty bleacher and rattles its way around. That one got into the stands in a hurry off the bat of Chase Hager. Leadoff hitter Dominic Ford would be next. Patriots would rather not have to face him. Lynn delivers a little bit low. Again, working in relief for the first time this season. Last year, threw a team-high 67 innings for FMU. Made 5 starts. The rest of his appearances out of the bullpen as he gets a swing and a miss there from Hager. His 20 appearances last year, second most on the team. This year, full-time starter, at least until tonight. And has won 4 of his 5 decisions. Check swing. Patriots want the appeal. No swing according to Ted Miller, the base umpire. 2-2. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 10th, the Patriots will have Kemp, Wadsworth, and Mackinson, 6, 7, and 8. The spots due up. Against it looks like Alec Hunter. There's no action in the Queen's pen right now. Lynn misses wide as the count fills up. Three, 2. Just unable to secure it. Griffith, a foul tip that popped in and out of his mitt. Still clinging to life is Hager. Another 3-2 on the way. And another foul. Cut on and missed. Down goes Hager on strikes. A second strikeout for Flynn. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning, but Queens regains the lead. FMU again down to their last chance. They tied it up with 2 in the 9th. Can they tie it up again or win it in the bottom of the 10th? Find out after this quick timeout on the Patriot Sports Network. Patriots will start the bottom of the 10th inning with a pinch hitter. Tristan Freeman, the freshman out of Myrtle Beach, will face Alec Hunter here. The Queens leading 13-12 in the bottom of the 10th. And Freeman got and misses for strike one. Freeman 4 for 25 this year. Takes that one outside. Freeman 1 for 3 as a pinch hitter. Takes a strike from Hunter, 1-2. The Patriots were down to their last out. A couple of different occasions last inning, but they able to tie it up. 2-2 now on Freeman. Freeman should reach. I think that maybe Wadsworth would be trying to bunt in the on-deck circle, but it won't matter as Freeman is caught looking at strike three. Second strikeout for Hunter as he also struck out Griffith to end the ninth inning and send us to extras. And now Fred Wadsworth. Big RBI triple in the eighth inning. One of the eight unearned runs the Patriots have scored tonight against Queens. 12 runs allowed by this Queens staff, but just 4 of them earned tonight, thanks to 5 errors made by the Royals defense. Wadsworth rips this one over the head of the shortstop Melton out into left center field. Second hit for Wadsworth since coming off of the Patriot bench. And the tying run is at first with 1 out for C.J. Mackinson. Mackinson 1 for 5, had an RBI single back in the 7th. It's also reached on a fielder's choice and an error. 2 runs scored tonight for Mackinson. Waits it off the end of the bat, foul up the first base side for strike one. Way inside. Popped out of the mitt of the catcher Dudney for a moment, but he quickly pounced before Wadsworth could move over to second. Bottom of the zone strike to Mackinson that the senior shortstop did not agree with from home plate umpire Mike Parnell. Teams have combined for 25 runs and 27 hits. As Mackinson sends this one out into left center, ranging over is Chase Hager, who moved from left to center to start this inning. He makes the catch. Griffin Hughes, who came in and pinch hit for the center fielder who was in the game, Hammonds, stayed in the game and went to left. And the Patriots are down to their last out. Brian Kahn with a run at first and 2 away here on the bottom of the 10th inning. Kahn takes a strike. So Hunter trying to lock down the win for Queens, while the Patriots are once again trying to battle back after being down to their last out. That one almost got away from Dudney, but once again he keeps it in front of him. Wadsworth a tying run at first, with 2 down. 1-1 to Kahn, a little bit inside. 2 balls and a strike. Now 3-1. Top of the order, Will Hardy. Lurking in the on-deck circle if Kahn is able to reach. keep this one going. Hunter fires. All 4. So Kahn reaches for the 3rd time. Also has a double and was hit by a pitch earlier that got him an RBI. So tying run moves into scoring position in the form of Fred Wadsworth. And now the potential winning run is Brian Kahn over at first base. 2 down for Will Hardy. Hardy has walked twice. Has also brought in a run with a sacrifice fly. And scored once, 1-0. 0 for 3 officially for Hardy, which would leave one to believe that he is due. And he lines one into right field, a base hit. Fred Wadsworth is being waved around third. Here comes the throw to the plate, and he is out. The throw from Brassington and the tag by Dudney just gets to the hand of Fred Wadsworth before he could get to the plate. And Queens will take a 13-12 win over the Patriots in 10 innings. A wild contest here in Florence. But the Royals are able to hang on to knock off the Patriots. Final totals for this evening: 13 runs, 17 hits, and 5 errors for Queens. For the Patriots, they had 12 runs on 11 hits and made 2 errors. The winning pitcher will be Alec Hunter. He improves to 1-1. Losing pitcher Morgan Morris, he falls to 0-1. No save in this one. Time of the ball game, 3 hours and 47 minutes, and the attendance 457 on a damp and cool evening here in Florence, South Carolina. FMU now 20-15, Queens 10-23 on the season. Next Patriots Sports Network broadcast, Patriots softball Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock, a PBC doubleheader against the Flagler College Saints. We hope you join us then. Thanks for watching tonight as the Patriots fall 13-12 to Queens in 10 innings. For all of us here at the Patriots Sports Network, Rob Lau signing off. Good night and go Pats.